Hello, thanks for joining me for today's Pilates PT session. We're going to do a short 20-minute session. We're going to incorporate a little bit of weight, so you'll need some small hand weights and you'll need a soft ball or a thick cushion as well. So I'll get you warmed up to begin with. So standing in your Pilates neutral stance with toes pointing forwards, hip distance apart, making sure your pelvis is centered into the middle, and we'll just start with some shoulder rolls around. As you're doing this, I want you to make sure your legs are nice and soft. Bring the shoulders all the way up towards your ears, just dropping the shoulder blades back and around, really opening out through the chest and the collarbones as you stretch back and down with the shoulder blades. And then we'll take it the opposite way, taking them forward, so bringing the shoulders all the way up to the ears and then rounding in front. We'll just go for a couple more here, lifting the spine up nice and tall. So as you're breathing in, taking a wide breath into the ribs and then breathing out, lengthening out through the spine. And now we'll start to take it into some side bends. So reaching down towards your knee, you can just follow your hand with your gaze as you do this, and then changing over to the opposite direction. So just going to keep going over with alternating side bends. As you're doing this, I want you to imagine that you're stood between two panes of glass, and you make sure you should go straight down to the side and you don't add some rotation in, so one shoulder doesn't go in front of the other as we do this. Just going for one more to each side. And then after this next one, we'll then take it into some roll down. So recentering yourself. From here, bring your chin to your chest. Slowly start to round forwards, let the arms float in front of the body, rounding every segment of the spine, going all the way down, rounding through the back and releasing towards the floor. Take a nice deep breath in and out. As you breathe out, just try and go that little bit heavier here. Feel the stretch down the back of the legs. And then we'll squeeze the bottom muscles and tuck the tailbone underneath you and roll all the way back through the pelvis. So bringing the pelvis all the way back to neutral and then restacking one vertebrae at a time on top. We'll go for a shoulder roll around and then back into your next roll down. So bring your chin to your chest. Imagine your spine as dinosaur spikes. We're opening out each individual spike as we roll down, rounding every segment all the way down, making sure the neck's nice and soft. Take it into a few pendulum swings from here, so let the hips do a bit of a swivel around from left to right. And then just let the body go really floppy, really heavy. And then bring it back into the middle. Take a breath in and out as you breathe out. Go a little bit heavier towards the mat. And then when you're ready, squeeze your bottom, tuck the tailbone under, hollow through the abs. Roll the pelvis all the way back through into neutral. Once the pelvis comes back, then just restack one vertebrae at a time. When you're ready, we're going for another one. So last roll down here, curling through the spine as much as you can. Really open every segment out, let the shoulders go nice and floppy. And then again into pendulum swings around to the sides. Just going nice and heavy, nice and relaxed. And then bringing it back into the center. Take a deep breath in and out. As you breathe out now, just relax a little bit more and then start to unravel. So tuck the tailbone under, rolling the pelvis all the way back to neutral, and then feeling each segment just come all the way through. Good. When you get to the top now, we'll just reset back into our nice posture. We're going to go into some squats. So sending the hips back behind you as if you're sitting onto a chair. Keep the knees just over the toes and float the arms forward. Keep the collarbones nice and open, and then now squeeze your sitting bones to pull you all the way back up into a nice tall stance. And again, so just dropping the hips back, keep the nice alignment. Ankles, knees and hips should stay into alignment here. Collarbones want to stay open and then coming all the way back through. So I'll show you from the side just what I'm looking for as you keep going through your squats. So you send the hips back, imagine car headlight beams on the hips, they tip back and the beam tips down over the top of the thighs. Make sure the spine stays in neutral and we don't round the upper back, so we keep the collarbones open. The knees don't go too far forwards over the top. Come to maybe top of toes at the absolute maximum, but you're sitting back into this imaginary chair, and then squeeze the sitting bones, bring yourself all the way back through to a nice tall posture, and then going back again from the hips. And imagine that you've got a ribbon that's wrapped around your pelvis and someone's pulling the ribbon back, so you hinge at the hips to go down into your squat here. We're just going to take it for two more, just warming up, getting that nice posture as we go through the squat. and coming all the way back through. And then now we're going to grab hold of your weights, so just getting hold of your free weights here. So I'm just going to use my weighted balls, but if you've got tins of beans or whatever works, it doesn't matter for this one. So now from here, we're going to go out into our dumb waiter with a little bit of footwork series. So to start with the dumb waiter, we can keep the elbows into the waist and open out to the sides with our thumbs, so taking our thumbs back into the midline. So turning thumbs back behind you and then releasing. So we'll go for 2 more just like this, and then we'll start to add in your footwork series. So now from here, we'll bend the knees, going down as far as we can, keeping a nice straight spine as if we've just slid down an imaginary wall. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift our heels up, take our thumbs back behind us, then straighten the legs. And then as we lower back through, we bring it back into the center. So you're just going to roll through your footwork series with your legs and then go into dumb waiter at the same time. So it's a little bit of a coordination and balance challenge, this one. You want to open the collarbones as much as you can. Check your ankles are still pointing forwards, even as we lift through, so we're not letting our heels roll out to the side or sickle. So just going for a couple more here. And then after this next one, we're then going to relax and release. Well done. Now we're going to take it out into second position. So feet are going to go nice and wide, toes will turn out. Just to begin with, just drop into your squat and check that your feet are too narrow. Your knees will push right out over the toes. So you need a nice wide stance for this one. So when you're ready, just turning the sitting bone straight down to the floor and then squeezing straight back up, keeping a nice straight back. Now we're going to take our arms out, a little bit like dumb waiter, but we'll add it a bit like Cleopatra. So we'll go down into squat, turn out. Then as we lift the heels, lift the arms, straighten legs, and then lower all the way back through. So going out like dumb waiter, and then almost like Cleopatra, but without the rotation. We then send it straight out and draw it back in. So what I want you to think about as you're doing this one is making sure that the collarbones stay wide and the shoulders stay down. So we're going in for 2 more. And last one. And then release. Now you can drop one of your weights down to your mat. We're now going to go into your bowlers. So from here, if you've got a good grip on your weight, we can take it where you can have like a fist shape, but otherwise, if you're holding onto a weighted ball, you can hold it like so. So I want you to get your weight into one leg. You'll get your balance. We'll bend into the knee, tip forward from the hips, and now we're going to reach and stretch with our weight and then draw it all the way back in center, lifting nice and tall. So we're going for 5 on each leg now with our bowlers. And we need to really make sure that you think about your posture. You're getting as much squeeze through your standing glute to control this movement. We're going to take it for 2 more, keep the shoulders down away from the ears. So you're making sure that you don't bring the shoulders up as you reach forwards. Last one. Keeping the abs drawn in, the chest lifted, and then release and change to the other leg. So swapping over, get your balance first of all. Think of that nice tall posture. Bend into the knee, tip forward from the hips, reach and stretch, and then squeeze all the way back up. And again, down into the knee, tip forward from the hips. Nice reach and stretch. Squeeze back through using your standing bottom. Try and really engage through the glutes as much as you can. We've got 2 more. Keep the shoulder away from the ear. And then last one. And then bring it all the way back through. Now we're going to incorporate your softball as well, or cushion if you've got the cushion, and we'll need both weights. So from here, you're going to pop the ball in between your legs. You can grab hold of both weights. Now from here, we're going to go into your squats, squeezing the ball. We're also going to send the arms back behind you. So I'll show you from the side, it's a little bit easier. So get your feet into position so that you make sure you've got nice alignment between ankles, knees and hips, so depending on how wide your ball or cushion is. From here, we're going to turn our palms facing backwards. When you're ready, you're going to sit back into your squat and reach the arms back behind you, a little bit like you're going skiing, and then come straight back through to standing. So it's squeezing the ball, squeezing away with the arms. Think of really working through the triceps. So you lock the elbow out, reach the fingertips back and away, and making sure that you're really stretching right through the whole arm from the shoulders. We're going to go for one more, then we're going to hold and pulse. So we're going to come down, last one, squeeze back up, and then go down, hold and pulse. So staying here, tiny little pulses now with the arms. So we're squeezing up through our triceps. Make sure that your knees again are just over the top of the toes, your chest is lifted, abs are pulled in. We've not arched our back, we've got a nice long spine. We're sitting back into this imaginary chair. Now squeeze the ball as tight as you can. Make sure inner thighs and bottom are engaging. Think of lifting through the pelvic floor. Tiny little pulses through the arms, reach away, feel the back of the shoulders working. 2 more, and then release through from there, well done. Now I'm going to take it all the way down into, we'll do a roll down and walk out to hands and knees position, go into your plank next. So in your own time, bring your chin to your chest, slowly curling down, rounding towards, go nice and floppy. Then when you're ready, walk with the hands straight out in front of you into your hands and knees position. Okay, so fingertips are pointing forwards, making sure, so you've got middle fingers to the front and hands are nicely spread. Knees are underneath the hips. We'll go for a couple of cat stretches, and then I want you to find a position where you've got that lovely happy cat through the upper back, but then you've got a little bit of angry cat through the lower back, so we've flattened our back. So feel like you've lifted your chest, you've lifted your abs. When you're ready from there, tuck the toes under, float the knees just away now, and we're going to hold this position. So you've eye lines looking down between your hands, you've pushed the back of the head up towards the ceiling, and belly button is pulling in towards the spine. Make sure you keep that nice engagement through the core. We'll hold it for 3 more seconds, and then release through from there. Now we'll take it into full plank and go into leg pull at the same time. So same start position. When you're ready, stretch one leg back, stretch the opposite leg back, and then hold your plank. Keep the length through your spine, so from the crown of your head right through to your heels. You're keeping this nice engagement. When you're ready, stretch one leg back and lift into leg pull. Lower it back down, change to the other side. Try and keep the tuck under the tailbone so you feel like you're pulling pubic bone to navel as you do this. Keeping the abs as tight as you can. Imagine you've got a little tray of drinks just resting onto your lower back. I really want you to make sure that you've protected your lower back so that there's no movement. Shoulders are still staying away from the ears. You've got a nice long neck as you do this. So you should feel your triceps engaging a little bit into lats. And then of course, ribs are still tucking down towards your abdomen or into your knickers or underpants. Last one here, stretching away and lifting. Lower back down, and then just take it back into a nice child pose. So push the bottom back to the heels and rest down and breathe. And then coming all the way back through. And now we're going to roll onto your back. Okay, so taking your legs out in front. Just going to move my head cushion behind me. And then when you're ready, you'll roll down one vertebrae at a time all the way onto your back. So bring yourself into your Pilates rest position, so ankles, knees and hips in alignment. Neutral pelvic position. Interlock the fingers, take the hands behind the head, and we'll start with your abdo prep. So elbows up to your periphery, shoulders away from your ears, drop the head into the hands, take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, you're slowly going to curl up. And then inhale to lower. So just going at the pace of your breath, and what I want you to really focus on is making sure that the pelvis stays in neutral, so there's no tilting as we do this. Just going for a couple more, making sure you really drop the ribs down and together as we curl up, and then release. Now we're going to flatten our back, so squish your lower back down into imprinted spine, float the legs up one by one into double tabletop, glue the knees and ankles together. Now when you're ready from there, curling up again, so breathing out to come up, inhale to lower. You're trying to keep your knees nice and still, so you make sure there's no movement of the pelvis. The pelvis is locked into the mat, you've flattened your back. We'll take it for 3 more. And then we're going to start to add in a one leg stretch. Last one. And then now when you're ready, continue curling up, reaching away and long. Draw it back into your start position and change to the other side. So every time you curl up, I want you to stretch one leg away. Focus on keeping the back nice and flat so that we're not arching the back as we lower and extend through the leg. Got 2 more. And last one. And bring it back in. Give your knees a little hug into your chest now and relax your back into the mat. Now we're going to grab hold of your weights and we're going to take it into dead bugs. So a weight into each hand. These don't need to be particularly big weights. We're going to float the arms straight up towards the ceiling. Keep the shoulder blades nice and heavy. When you're ready from here, float the legs up one by one to double tabletop with a nice flat back. Now when you're ready from there, it's going to be the opposite arm and leg reaching away. So breathing out, stretching away. Inhale, fold it back into your start position. Change to the opposite side. Now as you've got the weight into your hand, you want to really make sure you're still keeping your back flat and you don't feel your back straining as you do this. So drawing in those imaginary springs that sits between ribs and hips, you keep them pulled in and we're going to be working also. So long stretch away between the arm and the leg. Ribs stay tucked down and then we're making sure back stays nice and flat. Now don't forget your stationary arm and leg. So although I'm reaching away through one side, the opposite side I want you to imagine as if there's a beach ball between your hand and your knee and you're trying to squeeze the beach ball so you'll feel your abs just tighten and engage just that little bit more. Just going for 2 more here, making this next one your last one. And then release. You can just take one weight away if they're big, or if you can hold on to 2 with both hands and interlock, do that. Now we're going to squeeze the knees and ankles together, go back to double tabletop. From here, we're then going to take it into double leg stretch with the arms going overhead. So breathing out, stretching both arms overhead, stretching legs away, and then bring it back into center. Now, because we've gone that little bit harder, we're going with double leg stretch, you can take your legs just that little bit higher if you want. I need to make sure that you're still keeping your back flat. Strong breath out to stretch away. If you're struggling to keep your back flat, add a curl up in. So we'll crunch up and then reach away. If we're curling up, we bring the hands a bit closer towards the knees, so we round the back just that little bit more, and it'll just help keep your back nice and flat. We're going to go for 2 more. Strong breath out. Bring it back in. Last one. All the way back in. Give your knees a little hug and relax from there. Now we're going to roll over to your side next. So coming all the way through, we're going to go up onto your elbow, and then from here we're going to take it out into a little bit of clams. So keeping the hips nice and stacked, we're going to turn out with the top knee, making sure the pelvis stays stacked the whole way through with this one, and making sure that we keep lifted through our lower waist. Collarbones are nice and open. We're going to go in for 3 more here at level 1. And then we'll take it up to level 2. So when you're ready from there, lifting both heels up and then squeezing out. Making sure again you're lifting through your waist, keeping that nice lift. Going in for 4 more here at level 2. Keep the abs drawn in, keep the collarbones open. And then level 3. So we lift the heel up now. Bottom heel's on step 1, top heel's on step 2, and then off we go from there. You're thinking of all your normal principles, so abs are lifted, collarbones are open, tummy's pulled in as if we're wearing a little waist belt here. Last 4. And after this one, relax, and we'll change to the other side. So just swiveling around the opposite way, come onto your elbow. You set yourself up for your clams. Collarbones are open. When you're ready, hips are stacked, turning out. So a nice squeeze out with the knee. focusing on the abs pulling in as we get to the top, really clenching into the glutes, making sure the leg feels nice and heavy as we do this. We're going for 3 more here at level 1, and then we'll take it up to our level 2 exercise. So last one, then lift both heels up, continue from there. Heels squeezing together, making sure the leg feels heavy. You're squeezing into the glutes to get the lift. Last 2. And then from here, we'll take it up to level 3. So you lift the top leg up and then continue to turn out. So bottom leg is still lifted, you've still got the heel up on step number 1. But now with the top leg, we've lifted that foot up to step number 2. Keeping the pelvis nice and still, abs are drawing in, we're lifting through our obliques. Last couple here, and then you can rest down from there. Now just come all the way into seated, take your legs out into diamond shape, so palms of the feet together, knees are just going to drop down, and all I'm going to get you to do is just a nice spine curl forward, so drop the chin to the chest, rounding through, and then reaching forwards over the legs. You can wrap your hands around the feet and just pull yourself down just that little bit more, and if you want to, you can pop your elbows down towards your knees, pushing them out just to get a little bit of an easy stretch there for the inner thighs and the glutes as well. And then slowly we'll unravel, nice and tall, lift and recenter, go for a couple of shoulder rolls around. Feel the length all the way through the spine. You want to draw the abdominals in, lift the collarbones, and then just relax the shoulders, let the shoulders and the neck go really, really soft. And then relax, well done.